Hey, Mateo. So I want to do a few things here. Let me try to figure out why I can't work this computer properly. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, so I wanted to toggle over to your resume. So what you have is really basic, not much, right? Um, so the skills section we need to build out. I think you can imagine that you have pretty much the exact same thing as relevant skills to experience. So I'm wondering, I guess maybe you didn't, maybe you weren't there for the centralized delivery from Cherie or Chad, one of those two people, for when they went over resumes, or perhaps you didn't. Um, I mean, you may have been there, but you never filled it in. You didn't do the work for this. And then when you went over it when I reviewed it and went over it in BC in my class, you didn't do anything for it as well. And I guess well, I don't have you here to ask, but I'm wondering why you didn't do any of this work. Having said that, let's take a quick look and then I'm going to help you out. So this is up fine up here. We'll get rid of LinkedIn for now. I don't have the link to your, well, actually, all right, let me try this out. Okay, so LinkedIn, let's see if I do a search. If I find Mateo Medina. No. I'm not sure if you have a LinkedIn or not. We'll go back to your resume. Okay. So when you do have one, you'll get it on to here as well. Relevant skills, again, same as your experience for this business and your education. There's prefabbed information for things that you can cut and paste right in that Europe's already created for you to use. One thing I don't recommend is using dates like this because then people are like, wait, okay, 0 was January 2020. Wait, what is 8 again? Is that no, that's not. Is it July? It's why make people have to work at it? Instead, you just write it out as January, right? Simple. Or you can abbreviate it. That's fine too. And then 8 is, well, let me do what's called an N dash. January to 8 was July? Is that no, August. You see how I had to figure that out? So no one wants to have to do that. Oops, you were abbreviating, so we'll be consistent. So that's how that would look if you were doing it that way. Here you can see again, I'd have to translate what 7 is and 9 and 6, and it's just a bunch of numbers close together. Don't make it hard, make it simple to see, right? As far as high school, no longer ever will you include that on a resume because you're done with that. You're into college level training, and that's all anybody's going to care about, and they're never going to go, wonder if this guy ever finished high school, and I wonder how he did in high school. They just are not even going to think about it anymore. That's just the truth. We can get languages up into relevant skills. The skills, if you were looking at the templates, you would have seen this sort of thing like software, hardware, networking for IT, customer service, certification, languages. All of that appears right under your contact information, so in a snapshot they can see these things that you have. I put together a sample one. Yes, this was more for a project management student, but some of these would still apply even to you. That would be for the skills section under yours, right? Stay with me here. We're going to get to your resume further in a moment. All right, so what do you do as far as these bullets? I guess, again, you weren't paying attention or you didn't try or you were out. I'm not really sure. But this should be what's called a power statement. Power statement is, what did you do? What? How much? It could be how often, how much, successful or not. These are the sort of things you see in a bullet point. And let's take a look at someone else who has one. Demonstrates exception, it should say demonstrate. I gave him comments and he's fixed these things. Demonstrate exceptional attention to detail by accurately weighing, labeling, and packaging various cuts of meat to ensure compliance with safety standards. So you can see what he did. You can see, this is mostly about what he did, although it tries to say exceptional attention to detail. The idea of exceptional meaning to give you a sense of how well he did it. Achieved, it should say, achieve a 98% accuracy rate in weighing, labeling, and packaging meat at an average of 300 orders per day. Very repetitive. So he actually, I think down here, anyways, you get a sense of this is what bullet points should look like on a resume. And then you've got, what you had, which was troubleshooting audio. It's not a thought, or it's not a complete thought. Okay. And then we talked a bit about education. So here's what I did. I went in and I created your resume for you. It's like an early birthday gift. And you can change what you want, but here you go. Microsoft Office, we've got more specifics. If there are other softwares keep adding them, blah, 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 blah. You can add some more if there are some that you've got that aren't listed there. Networking is more about routers, switchers, firewalls, and you could, if you want, put in, let's see, Sebastian's, because he's done a lot of IT. Networking, Active Directory, TCP/IP routing protocols. This is, and probably you did do Active Directory as well, I'm guesstimating. So maybe we should have that in there, networking. Includes. Now, if this is not accurate, then you have to take this out, right? Directory, TCP/IP routing protocols. Certifications, I put this in, but I don't know if you have those. If you're getting close, you're working towards the certification in A+, then we'll leave that in there for now, and that's fine, as long as you make sure you get it. If you don't, you'll have to take that off of your resume. Advanced Excel, I think you may have achieved that certification. Again, if not, don't include that. I put in a business communications one. Part of the reason is that you're looking for bells and whistles to go off, right? When the computer systems read resumes, they're looking for keywords. As long as they hit enough of those, then they'll pass it along to a real human being to look over. It's why with a resume like this, it would be impossible for you to get a job interview, right? Here, there's a chance. If you're applying for a technical type job, you have Excel, Outlook, Microsoft Office, Windows, you've got troubleshooting, configuring, you've got Active Directory, etc. You've got Advanced Excel, and you've got email etiquette, public speaking, teamwork, performance feedback, concise messaging, and grammar essentials. And then, of course, a language as well. And then you get to this. So here, what I did, and if you look at this, let me read it to you and then see if you can figure out where it comes from. Use extensive technical training to install audio turntable components in a facility with 20 assembly stations that work in harmony to produce over 200 unique turntable configurations. How would I know all that applies to your U-Turn audio? I actually just went to the website for U-Turn and I found this information there, or at least a big chunk of it, to put in a bullet point. So that's how I figured out what to put. Then I put in this, and I'm not sure if you might need to switch this because I don't know if you do this. but I said proficient in diagnosing and troubleshooting issues with circuit boards, tone arms, main bearings, and other components. Now, I don't know if you diagnose or troubleshoot issues that are with us, but possibly, and if so, we'll leave it there. And then I put this in here to try to give a sense of how well you do the job, because that's important, not to just list what you do, but give a sense of how well you do it. And so I put recognized by management for exceptional attention to detail and overall dependability. So I don't know if that's true, but if I asked your manager, is he really good with attention to detail? If they said yes, cool, you can have it there. If I said, is he dependable? Does he do the work, show up on time, have a good attitude, etc.? If they say, yeah, he's great and totally depend on him, then that would go in there. So you can see you could leave this in here unless it really doesn't apply. And as far as year up, we've built this whole thing out here. And so it's information technology, professional training, and 6-month internship, hands-on training in information technology, computer applications, hardware install, imaging, computer troubleshooting, networks. You've got words in here again that will click in a computer system, that will ring a bell as being important, and move this over to someone to actually look at it. So here's your resume. Let's do a bird's eye view of this. Look at that now. Compare that to this. All right, what I'm going to do is I am going to send this over to you very soon. All right. Hope it helps, Mateo. And congrats on getting an internship. I'm assuming you just found out where you're going. And I look forward to seeing you online next week on Monday.